One of the internet's most recognizable technologies is Google Search, with billions of queries entered every day. But how are Google's results determined, and what can a news organization do to be more visible in them? In the next 10 minutes, we're going to answer those questions and a few others that we receive from news organizations around the world. I'm Robbie Brown from the Google News Initiative. This video is part of a series we made to try to demystify Google technology. Other videos in our series break down Google Analytics, Google's ad products, and YouTube, all from the perspective of a news publisher. But this video is all about search. We'll explain where and how news appears on different Google surfaces, answer common questions we hear from news publishers, share a few recommendations, and point you in the direction of more information. People search for news in a variety of places across Google, and as a result, our products present news results in a variety of ways. The first place you're likely to encounter news is called top stories. If someone searches for a topic that has a lot of news coverage, let's say coronavirus, for example, a top stories area will appear displaying a variety of news coverage. The aim of top stories is to display relevant, high-quality news for a given search term. Another place that news shows up on search is in the News tab. As you can see, this tab provides even greater context by aggregating news articles into categories. We then have Google News. Now you might think Google News is the same thing as the News tab, but in fact, Google News pulls together a number of different features, including personalized recommendations, local news, and results organized around topics, let's say sports or business. Google Search is almost like a search engine dedicated entirely to news, providing even more features than the News tab. It's also downloadable as an app. Lastly, let's take a look at Google Discover, which recommends articles before a user has even entered a search term. You may have encountered Discover when searching for something on your phone. On Discover, users can customize their experience to manage the types of articles they are shown, receive updates on their favorite topics. So those are some of the main avenues for discovering news on search. Of course, it's worth remembering that there are plenty of other places where news shows up, including audio news on Google Home devices, video news on YouTube, but those are topics for a different video. So we've covered the where. But what about the how? How can news publishers manage their presence in Google search results? Let's look at two products designed to help you with that. The first is Google Search Console. So this is a tool that Google makes available to all website owners. Search Console offers tools and reports to help you measure the traffic to your website, its performance. It alerts you to problems on your website, and it tells you how to fix any issues. The second is Google Publisher Center. This is a tool that can customize your publication's appearance on Google News. So you can add your basic information about your publication along with visual elements like your logo to help readers connect with your publication's coverage. To help you understand these Google products and what you can do with them, we're going to answer three of the most common questions that we get asked by news organizations. Number one, unsurprisingly, how do I show up in Google News? Well, you'll be pleased to hear there's no application process to be part of Google News. If you are a news website and you comply with Google's news content policies, you're eligible. Gone are the days when news organizations had to submit their website for approval through Publisher Center. Our systems are now able to identify eligible content automatically. So, to be clear, using Publisher Center does not mean your content is eligible, but it does help you control the way your content is presented if it shows up in a user's search. All right, question number two, why did my traffic from Google increase or decrease? We often get asked questions about traffic. Traffic drops can be caused by all sorts of things: rising and falling interest in certain topics, technical issues with your website, or Google may not have crawled or recrawled your website. You can answer a lot of your own questions by analyzing your traffic on Google Search Console and using the Search Console Help Center for FAQs and user-to-user advice. Let's move on to question number three. How do I get in touch with Google if I have a question about Google News? The good news is there are a number of ways to get in touch with us if you have questions. First, we provide office hours in different languages. These are community events designed to help enhance your website's design and performance, but they will not contain information that's not also available publicly on our other forums. Second, you can post a question in the Google News Publisher Forum. If you have a question that specifically relates to what's called indexing, which is the crawling of your website to gather information about what's available, search through the Index Coverage Report website. On top of this, you can contact Google through the form on screen now. Please make sure to attach screenshots illustrating the issue you're facing and limit your questions to those about Google News. While we can't provide individualized support and answer questions about search rankings, using the form might alert us to bugs that impact a range of publishers, so it can help your organization, the news industry, Google, and your readers. Finally, we want to share 3 best practices that we at the Google News Initiative have seen benefit other news organizations when it comes to using search. First, let's talk about website speed. So for instance, Google has seen that on mobile, half of visitors to a website will leave if it takes more than 3 seconds for the page to load. Point is, speed and experience on your website are really important. When it comes to analyzing the speed of your website, we recommend a tool that's called Page Speed Insights. And on Page Speed Insights, you'll get measurements of the full reader experience, taking into account a variety of different metrics. There's a feature called Core Web Vitals that specifically evaluates how long does it take for your largest item to load, for your site to become interactive, for your site to stop shifting its layout. It will rate your website either red, yellow, or green, and most importantly, it will provide recommendations for improving your speed if you don't pass the assessment. So for instance, to remove slower elements on your website, you may need to compress your image files into a smaller size. Or you may need to look at the order in which items appear on your website. There's something called lazy loading, which allows you to delay the items on your website until they're needed, which allows for higher priority items to load first, which increases the overall website speed. Instructions on these and other tactics are provided at the bottom of the PageSpeed Insights website and on our News Consumer Insights website. Okay. Recommendation number 2, focus on original coverage. Google News seeks to elevate authoritative journalism by giving credit to the originating publisher. This is something that both news organizations and readers want. As a result, Google works to prioritize original coverage. If you syndicate your articles to other news websites, consider making sure that only the original version shows up in Google News. To do this, your syndication partners should use a specific type of tag. We'll share more information about how to do that beneath this video. Our final best practice recommendation is to carefully monitor your own results in Search Console. And specifically, we've got a few ideas on how to do that. 1, to confirm that Google can find the content on your website, use the index coverage report by clicking Index and then Pages on the left-hand rail. 2, to view Google search traffic data, find out which search queries showed your website, and understand how often users clicked through those queries, use the Performance tab. 3, to receive alerts for issues detected on your website, check the messages in the top right corner. That is all for today, but this video is just an introduction, and below this video you'll find links to many more resources intended to help news organizations get the most out of Google technology. If you're interested in learning more about our analytics products, our ads products, or YouTube, please take a look at the other videos in this series, which are linked to below as well.